Am I the a-hole for cheating on my wife who cheated on me 7 years ago? 7 years ago, my wife admitted to hooking up with her ex when he had come to town one night. My wife was extremely remorseful. She gave me access to everything. She gave me her motivations behind it. She made no excuses for anything. I was extremely hurt and devastated, but we worked through reconciliation, and my wife worked through all the necessary steps. It took me almost 2 years to get over it, but I did because of my wife's actions. My wife also gave me a hall pass for one time, but I wasn't really interested in it as it didn't seem too practical. Fast forward to today. We have 2 beautiful children, and we are happily married. Last month, my sister called and told me that Sophie reached out to her and asked if she could go on a dinner date with me. Sophie was my sister's childhood best friend and had just finalized her divorce proceedings. Growing up, I always had a massive crush on Sophie, but I was afraid to take the next step because I thought my sister's friends were out of limits. My sister later told me in college that Sophie too had a crush on me and that she was waiting for me to ask her out, but I never did. When my sister told me that Sophie wanted to have dinner with me, I was initially a bit unsure because I didn't know where this would lead, but after spending a day thinking about it, I told my sister okay. I didn't ask my wife about it. Sophie and I then had dinner at an amazing restaurant, and we vibed really well. Sophie then invited me to her room, and I was really unsure now, but I went ahead. I went to Sophie's room, and I didn't really expect anything to happen, but Sophie kissed me, and then things just escalated from there, and we had seg. I texted my wife that I wouldn't be home that night and would be home the next morning and then switched off my phone. I then slept and cuddled with Sophie. The next morning I felt really guilty about everything even though the seg was amazing. I know I wasn't in the wrong because I had technically used the hall pass my wife gave me many years ago, but I still felt guilty about it. I then called my sister and told her what happened and asked her if I had done bad. My sister reassured me that I had done nothing wrong and that it was the least I deserved after what my wife put me through many years ago. I felt better after that, but I was still feeling guilty. I then went home and told my wife everything that happened. My wife cried really badly, but she told me that it was okay and that now we can finally move forward and leave this all behind us. Was I the a-hole?